T-minus 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of the Proton K rocket. Yeah, turn the sound down there, that was way too loud. Hello and welcome to the ISS special. I'm going to be sending up the first two modules of the ISS, that's the International Space Station. First on the Proton K rocket that the Russians used to send up what was called the Zarya module. And I'm going to be sending up the Unity module, which was the American one, on the Space Shuttle. I don't know which one it is, but who cares? Naming them's just irrelevant. What do they call them? There was Challenger, Endeavour, I'm very crap at this. Oh god, I'm awful. Enterprise was the one that was like tested but not ever used. Oh Jesus Christ. You know what? It doesn't matter. Mods I'm using, yes. I use the Nova Punch rockets pack for some of the engines here. I use KW Rocketry, which gave me those awesome fairings at the top to conceal the payload, which you'll be seeing shortly. And the KW Rocketry. B9 Aerospace I used for the space shuttle to get all the cool wings and the actual cargo bay and stuff. Separation of the first stage and the second stage for rockets, just like the actual thing. Yeah, I use Clockheed Martian for the space shuttle engines. I think that's what it's called. Clockheed. I'm sorry. MechJeb as well, because MechJeb's awesome. So when you can't have real Jeb, use MechJeb, and sometimes even when you're using real Jeb. Third stage, one engine, just like the real thing. Any other mods? I don't think there are any. Oh, I did use Kerbal Engineer on the space shuttle for some of the stats because I like the way they're laid out more than the orbital stats for MechJeb. So yeah, I used that. And coming up on the map here, stage separation, and finally the last stage, which is the one that gets you just into orbit, just enough fuel. And I did put a lot of oxidizer in that tank, but not so much fuel, so that it would just be really marginal. I don't know why I did that, I just like stuff that way, to be honest. But yeah, this was the easy part of the thing. This is why I'm like compressing it into only 3.5 minutes or so, because this was fuck easy. I mean, it's getting into orbit as per usual. I mean, it's nothing special, to be honest. I tried to get it into a 124-kilometer round orbit, which with no inclination relative to the moon, because that just makes it easier to work with the space shuttle. I've been testing it with 124 kilometers, and familiar ground is just a lot safer. And speaking of the space shuttle, here it is, launching from the runway, because that's where I designed it, because I can't be bothered to move it to the vehicle assembly building. I've got us. God. Yeah, this was very hard to make. First of all, you have the problem that it's like a huge ass plane with like huge engines at the back, and you've got to make it fly. And then you've got the problem with the center of mass being in a bad place, and you've got to like tilt the engines. And then you've got the problem with it being practically is it incontrollable or uncontrollable? I think it's uncontrollable. Probably. I think it's, yeah, probably. Yeah, the fact that it's completely incontrollable unless you use MechJeb, which is why I'm using it, obviously. Golden Star for whoever guessed that. It's also difficult on re-entry and difficult in every aspect. It's difficult to dock. It's just all round completely tedious. It's a complete pain in the arse, I'm sorry. But I feel good for doing it, but yeah. I mean, MechJeb I mean, real Jeb, he's good, but Mech Jeb's just better. And then I've got obviously the flight engineer stats, which I think I said earlier, because I just like the stats more and how they're laid out than the orbital information for Mech Jeb. Don't get me wrong, Mech Jeb's amazing. It's just for this thing, flight engineer's better. Anyway, yeah, going up in quite a flat trajectory, and then I have to tilt. Sorry. I have to tilt up quite a lot. I mean, oh yes, why I'm going backwards. You might think it's a bit weird, but this is because I think it gives the pilots negative G-force, which is... Sorry, not negative G-force, positive G-force. Negative G-force is horrible, because they just... It's just a lot nicer to have negative... Sorry, positive G-force. What's wrong with me? The negative G-force. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it backwards. That's what they did in the real shuttle. That's what I'll do here. I also got a fuel flow breaker in between the big tank and the like nose cone tank to keep the centre of mass in a nice friendly place where the whole thing won't flip out, because that's never good. I had lots of problems when I was making this and it was very hard to troubleshoot. In short, it's a pain in the arse. Also, I was having a lot of trouble with this before 0.23.5 came out. Just flatten it out there to get the most out of my main engines, because I didn't have solid rocket boosters with enough fuel. KW rocketry ones had loads of thrust but not much fuel, and it was very annoying. Whereas the new ones were just right. It was very nice. Getting the Apple apps up. Once I cut the main engines, I can't restart them. That's a rule, because they did that in the real Space Shuttle. I really want this to be as realistic as possible. There is one thing I did that I'm not so proud of, which is I put the solar panels on the outside of the vehicle. I don't know what they used in the real shuttle, but I think it was something like they either put solar panels on the inside of the cargo bay doors, or they did something else. What was it? They might have had hydrogen fuel cells, or whatever it was, to generate electricity. I'm not sure. I'm not a bloody expert. I was trying to use RCS to do most of the manoeuvring without SAS to make sure I used the least fuel possible, because I just like a challenge. Tedium. There's always a bit of tedium in Kerbal Space Program, especially when you're doing stuff like this. Opening the cargo bay doors there. Thank you, B9 Aerospace. You are a god. No, you're not a god. Well, almost a god. Maybe a demigod. Did you ever see... What was it? Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief? Oh yeah, I'm completely getting sidetracked. Wow, yeah, burning with the OMS engines, that's the Orbital Maneuvering System engines. They also are offset because they're above the centre of mass. Why did NASA do this? Couldn't they have made something much easier to copy? I mean, it was just annoying. Thanks, rocket science. But yeah, completing the rest of the burn with RCS because it's hard to do with the, the offset engines. And now we come to almost coming into the space state. Well, it's not a space station yet. But I was using RCS to burn because I didn't have enough time to swivel around and use the main engines, and then I completely wasted loads of RCS fuel, and I hate myself for it. But it could have gone worse. It could have gone worse. Someone should put me down. Okay, yeah. Undocking the payload there, and then what I have to do is swivel around and dock with it on this docking port I've got on the top, so that I can dock with the actual, whatchamacallit, the space station. Well, it's not exactly a space station, is it? Why do I keep saying that? It's like, it's, is there a word for it? Like, I don't know. There might be. Who knows? Sorry, I completely missed that. Yeah, docked up. Started coming in towards the space station. As you do. Bill and Jeb look happy today. Very happy. I don't know why they are, because they have to fly this piece of junk. Honestly, it's awful. Yep. Docking port alignment indicated. That's another mod I used. That is an awesome mod. It's like, if I didn't have that, this would have taken about 5 times longer, all this docking stuff. It's a real lifesaver. Whoever made that is absolutely awesome. Excuse me one moment. Yes, I'm back and we're coming into dock now. Yes, still got that cough. I was doing it very slowly and cautiously because I didn't want to muck it up after all this with the getting into orbit and the bloody space shuttle and stuff. And also because, well... Oh, that's a very nice sunrise just as we dock up there. Very nice. Yes, and Bill Kerman just gets out of the shuttle there, gets onto the space station. The first... inhabitant, I guess? First inhabitant of the space station. His family must be proud. And, yeah, you can see the inside of the B9 cockpit, which is really cool. Yeah, it's got all those notes and stuff, and if I didn't have the text reduction pack, it would be really detailed and high-res, but I do, so that this thing doesn't crash, because I can only allocate 4 GB of RAM to this game, but ah well. Undocking now. Slow and cautious as ever. Not as slow and cautious, but yeah. Leaving the space station, which has been, you know, new. It's there was one thing I regret about this, which is that the Unity module is way smaller than the Zarya module. See, look, it's kind of bad, but it's not too bad. There, that was after a lot of time warping, and I think this is getting ready to burn on the return, because I had to wait for Space Center to get into the daylight and all that. So yes, burning to return to home. Jebediah is excited. I mean, sure, it's exciting in space, but you know, it would get boring after a while. I mean, Kerbals probably have very short attention span. I mean, I do. I wonder, actually, if there's a mod which makes your Kerbals go insane if they, like, if they're stuck in space for too long with nothing to do. That'd be quite cool. I'd get that mod. That'd be quite fun. Yep, letting out some fuel there, the liquid fuel oxidizer, keeping some monopropellant, just in case. I was letting that out to make it lighter so it actually glides, instead of being like trying to fly a brick, which usually doesn't go well. I mean, I guess it could possibly go well. But now switching to 4 times speed so that you don't have to watch this whole re-entry thing. And then I was doing 4 times time warp as well, so this is effectively 16 times speed. Sunrise there, beautiful as ever. And I was tilting up to, because if you undershoot, then there's no turning back, but if you overshoot, there is. So I wanted to give myself the possibility of overshooting, but did it a bit too much, and I was too high and too fast. So I started turning to slow down my speed a bit, and going down. That was probably actually quite horrible for Jebediah, all those negative G-forces. Yes, I'm talking about negative G-forces a lot. But what I try to do when I come back is I roughly aim my prograde vector at just above the target marker on the nav ball, which means I'm slowly coming in, and it means I just about keep enough speed to carry on gliding, and I get there on time. And now, not 4 times speed anymore. This is going to be the landing at real speed. Yes, lovely real speed. Jebediah has surely been missed by his family. I mean, he spent, what, a couple of days in space? I mean, that's just too long away. So he's really in a hurry to get this thing down. But if anyone can do it, it's Jebediah. Oh hey, I've just realised... Ah yeah, there. You see how I've kind of tried to get the wings go gradually further out. There was that addition I did at the front, and there's a bit of a gap there, which is annoying. But Jebediah has no need for smooth wings. He can get this thing down by himself. A man of his skill, who needs his mechanical cousin? He can do this by himself. He is truly a pro. He may not be the most courageous, he may not be the most intelligent, but he is by far the one with the most experience. And with experience comes proness. I don't know what. Yeah. Forgot about that. But never mind. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and favourite. If you have any suggestions or comments, put them in the comments section below. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Take that rocket out your pocket and stick it on the moon.